What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for all 6 movies that Steven Spielberg directed in the 1990s. I've recently reviewed all 6 of these movies, and so I thought I'd go ahead and do my ranking for these movies. So I'll go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 6 is Amistad. This is a alright movie. It's the only one from the 90s that I had never seen until the other night when I watched it for the first time, and I think it's okay. It's not a completely horrible movie or anything, but it is easily one of my least favorite movies of his. It does have some really great performances, though, especially from Jimon Hunsu and Anthony Hopkins. Both of them were amazing in this movie. And Pete Postlethwaite was pretty decent, but like Morgan Freeman, who got top billing for this movie, he's not even in this. He's in this movie quite a bit, but he's not like a huge part in it. I was very disappointed about that. And Matthew McConaughey he's good in here and everything, but he doesn't get enough screen time either, really. And personally, I felt like some of the stuff they did with this movie just wasn't very smart. They took a lot of historical stuff and changed it, and had a lot of inaccuracies, and it's not one of Spielberg's best movies. It did have some good moments, though, especially that scene at the beginning when the slaves are doing the mutiny. That scene is amazing, and there's some other good heartfelt moments in this movie, but it just isn't one of my most favorites and everything. It's not just my least favorite 90s Spielberg movie, it's one of my least favorite movies of his in general. So Amistad is number 6, and number 5 is Hook. This is one of those movies that I used to watch all the time as a kid. Like most kids that grew up in the 90s, this was like a huge movie of my childhood, and every time I watch it as an adult, I don't enjoy it near as much. It's not really that I think it gets worse as I watch it, because that's not really the case. It's not as entertaining as it used to be. It's the one movie that Robin Williams was in and everything that I grew up with that I don't enjoy as much. The nostalgia just doesn't kick in when I watch it as much. It does in some parts of it, but not as much, and it's not one of my most favorite movies anymore. I will say, though, that Robin Williams I still think he's amazing as Peter Pan. Always have, and everything, and I think Dustin Hoffman is alright as Captain Hook, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of think that he's kind of overrated as Captain Hook, to be honest. And part of that, I think, is because I have a bias towards Jason Isaacs, who played him in the 2003 Peter Pan movie, which I absolutely love, and everything. This movie is just, it's not terrible or anything. I can handle watching it whenever I do watch it and everything. I don't really get bored with it, but it is kind of slow paced, and it isn't one that I find myself wanting to rewatch as much as I used to and everything. And if you would have asked me 15-20 years ago where this would be in my ranking, this one would have been a lot higher than it is now. Everything, it has dropped quite a bit. It's not one that I enjoy near as much as I used to, but I still think it's alright, and it's definitely miles ahead of Amistad and everything. So Hook is number 5, and number 4 is The Lost World Jurassic Park. I really like this movie quite a bit. I think it's a really good movie. It's a fun sequel to Jurassic Park. It does have some really dumb characters and dumb stuff that happens in here, but I've always enjoyed this as like a fun popcorn movie, and it is a pretty good entry in the franchise. The scene when the T-Rexes attack the trailer and stuff is awesome. One of the best scenes in the franchise, and then later on when the T-Rex attacks the camp is also really awesome. And when the guy just walks into the T-Rex's mouth because the snake is crawling through his clothes just cracks me up every time. And I will say that there are some pretty dumb characters in here, like Nick and Sarah, played by Vince Vaughn and Julianne Moore. They're really dumb characters, and everything they do, a lot of really dumb stuff in this movie. Their hearts were in the right place, but they still were being idiots doing the stuff they did in here. And that rampage during the last few minutes of the movie when the T-Rex is in San Diego was a lot of fun to watch. I know a lot of people don't like that and stuff, but I thought it was still pretty fun. And that baby T-Rex, he's just so cute. Just want to pinch his little cheekies, probably get my hand bit off in the process, but it'd be worth it because he's just so cute. And it's just a fun movie. So The Lost World Jurassic Park is number 4, and number 3 is Schindler's List. This is a really, really great movie, and most people would consider this to be his best movie, his masterpiece, and I can completely get that. It is a very, very great movie with great performances, especially from Liam Neeson as Oscar Schindler, one of the greatest movie heroes ever made and stuff, and he was based on a real life hero, so that just makes it all that much better. And he gave such a really great performance in this movie. And then you got Ben Kingsley giving a super great performance, and another one that doesn't really get the credit it deserves. A lot of people will talk about Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes in this movie, but they don't talk about Ben Kingsley, and I think he was amazing in this movie too. And Ralph Fiennes is great too. He's really, really good as the villain of this movie, and very, very horrible person, and he just gives a really, really great performance and stuff in here. But I absolutely love Schindler's List. I think it's an amazing movie. The reason it's number 3 is because it's not really that rewatchable. It's not one that I really like to rewatch. I've seen it 3 times. The first time I had a 10-year gap between the first time and second time I watched it, and then the second time I watched it was just like 2 years ago, and I wasn't planning on rewatching it again for a really long time. I was planning on maybe watching it in 10 years and everything, and maybe watch it once every 10 years or so, and everything, because of how brutal it is. It's a very hard movie to watch, and it's not one I like rewatching and stuff. It really kind of makes me feel really down and stuff, and I know that that's what the movie is supposed to make you feel. It's supposed to make you feel really, really bad and stuff, and that they really succeed on it. Like, this is just a movie that makes me just, it really messes with your emotions, and it just really depressing and hard movie to watch. So I do love Schindler's List and everything. It's a really great movie, but it's definitely not going to be at the top of this ranking because of that reason. It's just not as rewatchable. And also, when I do my full ranking of all of his movies, it probably won't be one of the top ones either for that reason. But it's not because it's a bad movie, because it is a great movie, and I do agree with most people that this is probably his best work as a director and everything. One of the best movies he's ever made. It just is not one of my most favorites because it's not one I consider rewatchable and stuff. I like being entertained more, if that makes sense. And this movie is very well made, really great movie. It's just not one I would say is an entertaining movie. So it's Schindler's List is number 3, and coming in at number 2 is Saving Private Ryan. This is a really, really great movie. Probably my favorite war movie of all time, and I just absolutely love this. There are so many great performances in here. This has a really, really great cast, led by Tom Hanks, who gives really great performance in this movie, and then you got Matt Damon, who is playing the titular character, Private Ryan, and they're trying to find him and stuff throughout the whole movie. And when he finally does come on screen and stuff, he just gives an amazing performance, one of the best performances in the movie. And honestly, I think he should have gotten an Oscar nomination for this movie. If he didn't get one, he definitely should have at least gotten a Best Supporting Actor nomination. He just was amazing in here, and he stole the show from Tom Hanks. And when you do that, that really must mean you're a really good actor, because it's very hard to do that. And Matt Damon is just really great in here. I never give him the credit he deserves as an actor, and it has a lot of good supporting characters. And Adam Goldberg is amazing in this movie, and Tom Sizemore, and Giovanni Ribisi is really great in here. Really underrated actor too. And Paul Giamatti, who's one of my favorite character actors, another one very underrated. He's really great in this movie, and I just absolutely love this movie. So Saving Private Ryan is number 2. And obviously, coming in at number 1 is Jurassic Park. More than likely, y'all knew that this was going to be my number 1, because I just absolutely love Jurassic Park, and I've been talking about it a lot lately, because I reviewed all of the movies in the franchise after I watched this one, and everything. And it's just, the Jurassic Park franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time, but none of the sequels come even close to being as good as this movie is. It just is an amazing, fun-filled blockbuster movie, and it's intense at times, it's entertaining, it has great acting, amazing special effects, some of the best special effects ever put on screen, and it just is a really, really wonderful movie. And only Steven Spielberg could do a movie like this in the same year that he did Schindler's List. Like he did one of the best summer blockbusters ever made in that year, and then just a few months later did Schindler's List. It's like amazing how he could do these two movies, which I know he technically did the same thing again when he did Amistad and The Lost World in the same year, but Amistad was not near as powerful as Schindler's List was. But this is just a really, really great movie, and I just absolutely love Jurassic Park. There's not much else I could say about it that I haven't already said and everything, so it's easily my number 1 favorite movie of Spielberg's 1990s movies. But anyway, let me know in the comments how you would rank these movies, and if you don't want to do your ranking, tell me your favorite and least favorite ones that he directed in the 90s, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.